And here we are. We are back for episode 2 of the dotSlashGaming podcast. Woohoo! If you survived episode 1, thank you. And thank you for coming back again, especially if you're live and not just listening. As with episode 1, we kind of had a bunch of random guests here, so I'll quickly introduce who we got tonight as our hosts. We're not going to be doing the interview format. We got plenty of feedback saying that wasn't the most exciting, but it was a fun icebreaker for us as our first episode. So tonight we've got Brandon. Brandon, give yourself a wave to say hi.
Hi, I'm Brandon. Thanks for coming in.
Perfect. We have Gabe up in the middle tonight.
Oh, hi, I'm Gabe.
How's it going, Gabe?
You know.
Good to hear. Then we got in the bottom right, we have Kyle.
Hola. Hi.
And then finally filling out our brand new host that's joining us and replacing Dan. We kicked him off. We couldn't take him anymore. Is Jeff.
Hey, I'm Jeff. I'm replacing Dan because we couldn't take him anymore.
Perfect. Actually, Dan's still with us. He just couldn't be here tonight. So he'll be on and off between episodes, and we hope to see him soon. So since we're switching formats a little bit, this will be more of our traditional of what we're looking for. And also, I'm going to say I keep looking away because I keep forgetting I'm using this camera and not this camera over here. So my eyes are everywhere. And then I have a monitor above me where everybody's located. And I tried to use the NVIDIA like broadcast eye thing, and it looked creepy as hell when I did it. So I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I'd rather have you all look at my eyes, looking up and down instead of myself going cross-eyed 3 times every time I look away. So anyways, so tonight's format, we're going to just have an open discussion, kind of talking about each of us have done from the previous weeks, maybe get a little bit more info out of Jeff since we've never heard from him yet. And we'll follow that format for the first half of the show going forward. And then the second half, we're going to probably just talk about latest news, maybe some articles that came out on the dotSlashGaming site that our team have written and discuss them in detail. And hopefully maybe we can get some good arguments going about if people like the reviews that were written or not. So yeah. So tonight we'll start with Brandon, since I introduced you first. So what have you been doing since we talked to you since last week?
I have been exclusively playing Forspoken. I was going to play some Destiny, but the servers went down, which I'm sure Kyle will talk about a little bit. So I gave up on Destiny for the week. Ton of Forspoken. It's a bit tough to get into. The first hour is rough. Like
you're playing on PC, right?
I'm playing on PC.
Okay.
On a laptop, and it's actually running pretty well. I was surprised. I don't have the greatest specs on this thing, and I'm not having any issues with that. A little bit of loading time issues just because I decided to install it on a mechanical hard drive instead of my solid state drive because I didn't want to delete anything.
That's fair. How big is the game, like in file size?
I don't know. I let it download overnight, so maybe 60, 70 gigabytes.
Yeah, it's pretty chunky game.
I set it up on Steam and walked away.
Yeah.
Anytime you're walking around in a cutscene, it's super clunky. Like it does not feel good. But as soon as you get into like the open world exploring, you get into combat, it's super fun. It's super smooth. The controls feel really good. It has this like Alice in Wonderland theme. And for me, at least, that really sucked me in. Anything with Alice in Wonderland, I'm into it. I decided to go for hard mode instead of like the story mode or the easy gameplay thing. And I don't know, it just increased the health on everything. And so that's making it a little bit slow to get through, but overall it's a fun game. Like the gear upgrading's fun, the customization and the crafting's really cool. I think they did some really like creative stuff with this game. I'm really looking forward to finishing it.
Into it.
Yeah,
I think I'm about 10 hours in now, so like I've seen a good amount of it, but
yeah,
I want to get to the end game.
I was hearing people say they got it done in about 15, and then other people were saying that if you start doing side stuff, 15 hours you're like nothing. Like, so it can be a pretty lengthy
there's no
game.
way I finish it in 15 minutes because I'm doing it the way I play Skyrim, where I'm every single little side quest I'm getting distracted and going off and doing that. Like
I feel that.
Yeah.
I'm nowhere near like completion at all. Like I don't even have some of the main spells unlocked yet.
Is there a lot of side stuff?
Yeah, like every 20 feet you go through the world, there's like a little dungeon that you can go into or some like mini boss. And like it could be because I cranked up the mode to like hard, but like some of the stuff is just like I can tell like, oh, I'm probably not supposed to be fighting this thing right now at this part of the game. I should probably come back to it later. And so I'll spend an hour just slugging away at the same boss and thinking, if I die, I'm just going to skip this one and come back.
Jeff, what was
How are
your
the game
question?
mechanics?
Oh, I was just saying
Um,
is I heard it gets kind of repetitive, like it's a little bland, the world.
I can see that might end up happening to me, and I might just rage quit it and get frustrated. But there's some cool creative stuff. Like if you're used to like an RPG where like, oh, you have pants and you have shoes and you have shoulder pads. The gear isn't like that. You have like a cloak, you have a necklace, and then the character's like a girl and she can like paint her fingernails for different like spell effects. And that was kind of like unique and interesting. I haven't seen that in a game before. So they're at least trying to make it flavorful. And
Definitely never seen that before.
yeah, exactly. So I'm having fun. I like it. Highly recommend. 10 out of 10.
Yeah. Has anybody else played it? I'm
No,
gonna take that as a no.
Nope.
I was interested in it, but
same.
once the reviews came in, they're kind of lukewarm. I was like, I'll just let Brandon play it and see what he says.
I read some of the reviews and people are constantly talking about how bad like the dialogue and the writing is, and like I don't know, maybe I'm just weird about how I play games. I haven't even noticed it. Like it just sort of like goes over my head. I'm staring at the screen.
So
and
you disagree with a lot of the reviews? You think they're a little bit too harsh?
Some of the reviews I agreed with, like when I can't remember who it was, but they were saying like it's clunky when you're walking and when you're going up and down ladders, and
I've heard that too.
Like anytime that you're in like a cutscene where you're able to move, it just feels like crap. Like it just slows right down. It's not fun. They try to make it look realistic and it just looks weird. But that's not most of the game.
Okay, that's pretty fun. Yeah, I want to check it out too, but the full price still scares me a little bit with what it was, and thankfully there's been enough things come out that I've already got my hands full with gaming. So I'm gonna hopefully wait for a sale and jump into it, but. I've heard that there's some work on it going for Steam Deck to eventually get it to be pretty playable on there, because I heard it wasn't playable like at all.
Yeah, some of the controls feel a bit weird. Like I feel like we'll get a patch at some point where they fix some of the stuff. At least on keyboard and mouse, it feels a bit like, oh, this button layout doesn't make sense, or maybe we need another key.
I know that this was made. I think it was the team that did Final Fantasy 15 made this at Square. I'm pretty sure that's what it is, and I don't know if you noticed any. Have you played Final Fantasy 15 at all?
I didn't get too far into that one. I got maybe 7-8 hours, and I kind of was like, this is.
Yeah, I know. Like other podcasts and things I've read where people were saying it is, they could tell all the places in Final Fantasy 15 where people didn't like certain things. They try to just exacerbate like how crazy it is in this game, and someone said they went too far. So I'm just curious. But all right, anything else, Brandon?
In general, one of my favorite things about it is having an RPG where I can focus on developing one character. Anytime like I have like a whole party of 5 people, I'm like I can't focus on all. I don't care about all these characters. I don't care about their gear. I want to focus on one person. So
the game gives me a lot of like Infamous vibes. If you ever played that, or if anyone's played that. Nobody played Infamous?
Oh, I did for sure.
I tried playing that not too long ago.
Yeah, you played it too late, I think. It was it didn't age so well, I think. It's kind of sad, but
I played 1 and 2 plus the DLC.
Oh yeah, me too. I loved those games.
They were pretty good. It was the open world. I like open world stuff.
I missed my window.
Yeah, you did. Too late. All right. So anything else, Brandon, you want to add to your what I played or did since last week?
A little bit of Marvel Snap, but we're still figuring out if we like that game or not.
We're getting there. All right, let's go over to you, Kyle. What have you done?
Well, I mean, Brandon just kind of gave out the spoiler there. I've been playing Destiny because, Lightfall comes out in a month, y'all.
Oh
1 month. I got to get ready for it. So I'm just, stacking bounties right now to cash them in once the new season starts, which you guys don't know. You should definitely do that. But yeah, just mainly playing Destiny. Other than that, I'm playing the game called Life,
That's a good one.
Yeah.
On hard mode?
On hard mode?
Yes, it's hard mode right now. Mainly just, making the Discord look pretty. So I'm playing the game of Discord too.
It's good. It's going well. And this is a great time to plug our website, dotSlashGaming.com, where you can join our Discord that Kyle just made pretty. So perfect.
So I have a bone to pick with Destiny at the moment. I brought my Xbox with me to Tennessee, and I pre-ordered Lightfall on PC. And I get it, it's for commercial reasons, but I'm really not feeling good about having to rebuy the expansion on another console. It's really annoying me.
Yeah.
I will agree. That's one thing that I wish Bungie would try to get rid of. Like, I feel like if you have it on one platform, you should be able to have it on other platforms. I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
But in the same token, though, because base game is free, which I get it. Yeah, you're like, oh, we're giving you a game for free, but it's like, you know, can you give us some slack? Maybe not make it $60, make it 30,
Yeah,
or like
it's hard for those
'cause-
games that are full price because like if you play a free to play, it's so easy to go play anywhere you want. It makes it super
Right.
nice. But when you have to pay for it, you know, it's difficult
like, if you
because it's different
buy
companies.
Every expansion, it's like hundreds of dollars for your account. Like if you buy them all when they're new, it's like
Wow.
what, $600-700 total?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Oof.
And then if you think about it too, it's like, yeah, they're giving us a lot of content for it. So like,
True.
you get 4 seasons, and then they have like 2 new dungeons coming out, different game modes, and obviously the story continues on. But it's just, I feel like, and Destiny's not the only guilty one for this. World of Warcraft as well. I feel like, because there's some expansions where they cost a little too much, and that's just kind of like my take on that. So I'm with you on that.
You still have to
No,
buy
don't
all
get
the
me wrong, like-
expansions separately. That's still a thing.
The old ones get discounted eventually.
Why don't they? I think WoW is more like you literally just buy like the newest and everything else is free. I'm pretty sure that's how
Oh
it
yeah,
is.
you're right. With WoW, that's how it is.
Yeah,
So
like-
Destiny to
Okay.
me
It
is
should
like,
just be like
Yeah.
that.
I don't see a problem spending $500-600 to play Destiny. I don't want to pay $1,200 to play Destiny. That's
$500 to play a game. You think that's acceptable?
yeah, it's a
Negative.
good game. I
No.
mean, there's a lot of content.
Yeah, there's other
Negative.
good
Plus,
games.
you don't have to. You
Who's
don't have to
doing
buy it all at
that?
once.
Yeah,
but,
but
like,
that's like if it's that old, like they're not touching that content anymore. Like just give it away.
Once I've paid $500, I don't want to pay another $500 to get back into it on Xbox. It makes me want to rip my hair out.
I mean,
But
I wanna
that's
pay
I can agree with you
$500
there.
Once.
Yeah, I don't want to pay $500 once either. Like I can understand if I bought it like within the first year or 2 years of release, it should cost that much. But why is it still costing me so much money that I waited? Like that just seems outrageous.
I haven't done the whole math. Maybe Kyle has it more in his head, but like the newest
That for
expansions,
sure does.
like
I guarantee he's
100.
got a number down to the last cent.
But like that's
plus,
such a
like,
turn off to like
30.
it's like trying to convince your friends to come play a new sport with you. It's like I tried to get into golf this past summer and it's like, well, you need this, you need this, you need this, you need this. And then when you go golf, it's also like $200. I'm like, well, that's not a really
Yeah.
good turn on. So like Destiny, like, why don't you make it a little more friendly and approachable? Because how am I going to convince, let's say I'm a huge Destiny fan. I'm Kyle, right? And I want to convince Jeff over here, who's never played Destiny, to come play with me and raid with me in these new expansions. Oh, Jeff, it's a really easy $500-600 to come hang out with me and my friends. Like, Jeff's gonna say, "Hell no, I'm out of here. I don't want to do this." Or I'll just play
So-
the base because that game's free. And why do I need all this extra shit? It's a little bit
So
like
from my understanding is like you could do a lot of the stuff already. It's more so just like the extra missions and like the exotic quests. You have to buy the expansion for.
what's an exotic quest? Maybe I should start with that.
So like, exotic quests, like the exotic guns, like they have special
Like an
perks
exotic
on them and
dancer or
whatnot.
something.
We know what's on your brain in that certain. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's just so like there's exotic gear, like how like in other video games like Fortnite, for instance, you got the purple and then you have the gold, right? And gold's like the high and mighty weapon or whatever it may be. That's what Destiny has for their exotic stuff. Is like it's hard to get, and some of these have like missions you have to complete to get them. So it's kind of like it's not really pay to win. It's just more so like you're paying to have something in your vault that you're probably gonna use once and never use again.
So it's not even like play to win. It's pay
Play-
to
pay to
play
play.
to hopefully win.
Yeah. But it doesn't even. You're sitting there talking about it, like maybe I should say I'll play Destiny to try it out, and then I'm like, no, I don't want to spend $500 to try it out. Like,
So I will say this: when so with the most recent one with Witch Queen that came out beginning of last year, they kind of did like a story where you catch up with the story of Destiny 2 for newbies. Like I played that mission just to see how that is, and it catches you up to current day. So necessarily, you don't have to pay the past expansions to play to understand the story.
Okay. I guess that makes a little more
Right,
sense.
like to play with my friends, I needed to buy Witch Queen when it came out, and then I got the 30th anniversary one because they were playing all the new raid content. And then there's like 3 other packs that you can buy, and then you add Lightfall on top of that, and you're starting to get up there in money.
Yeah, I mean, I have the Steam page open right in front of me, and if you want to get the Legacy Collection, which is the last 3 DLCs, it's $60 right now, which is actually not too bad. But if you want everything from the Witch Queen, Forsaken, Shadowkeep, Beyond Light, which is the last couple DLCs, and the 30th package that Brandon just mentioned, it's $414.89.
My God.
It's not that bad.
May
Come
I offer
on.
a healthy alternative?
Which
Yeah.
is
Warframe
$538
can
Canadian
possibly
dollars.
be 100% free to play.
Yeah. What?
Listen, I've been playing this game since day one. I've been playing since vanilla, so I'm more involved with the story aspect. And
Hi,
that's
I'm
why
Kyle. I have a problem, and I can't stop playing Destiny because I started day one. This is where we're at now.
That was basically the same thing for me for Halo. Like, I love the Halo franchise. Like,
Yeah, but Halo never charged me $500 to play Halo.
I mean,
you get the Master Chief Collection for like a nickel, paying into Game Pass, and you get every game and some.
well, how much is it for their season pass now for all the?
But you don't need that. That's not like what you need.
I play for story. I'm not a multiplayer guy.
Feel that.
I get that.
So,
all right. Well, I think we beat Destiny to death here. I just, it's
That's
like,
right.
look, I want
There's
to.
a lot of hate in this room right now.
I don't get it. I don't get Destiny. I thought it was a fine game. It just didn't make sense to me. It felt really.
I think the thing is, like, if you're gonna play, you're not gonna go, okay, I have to go buy every single expansion because there's a possibility I might play them. You're just gonna buy maybe 2 or 3 expansions, and that's gonna be like what, $40,
Yeah.
$50. I mean, then you kind of play that, you see if you like it or not. Then maybe, hey, let me go grab another expansion because that looks kind of interesting. Like, you kind of piecemeal it together. You're not like everything all at once. You know, like you don't go play Magic the Gathering by buying every single card.
Okay, that's
you just
fair.
know what you want to play.
I'm used to doing that though. Like I am that person.
Yeah.
Not to buy every Magic card because that's impossible. But if there's a game I want, I'm gonna go buy every expansion because I'm digging deep into it and I do it like that. That's what I'm thinking. So maybe this is just because
you can't have that mentality.
I don't know. It just seems
it's kind of rough because like one of my friends wanted me to start playing with him, but just like Kyle, he's been playing since day one. Bought every expansion that came out, and then he wanted me to start playing with him. I was like, okay, so I get the base game, and then I'm like, hey, let's play. He's like, oh, you got to buy these expansions to play with me. I'm like, how much is it gonna cost?
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's what I have to do to play this game with you. Like I have to spend hundreds of dollars as a new player. Like it's different if you've been playing from the beginning, but as a new player coming into it now, it's kind of rough.
But what if you don't even like it? You're gonna waste all that money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's why you just play the free version and see if you get like the whole.
Yeah, but that's not like that's like trying to get hooked on something that's not even the good thing. Like I don't know. If I'm Bungie and I'm trying to get you to play my game, I want you to try to I don't know, giving me a taste of the worst content you have isn't the best way to do it. Like, why not make more of the expansions free? I get you want to charge for the newest couple. Let's say the last 4, because they come out pretty often. Like, why not just make those 4 the ones that cost money and everything else free? Because, like, how long is content staying paid before it's free? I guess is the point. Maybe that's where the argument is. Is maybe they're just waiting too long to change it from full price or discount price to free. But
I mean, I like during the Steam summer sale and like the Christmas sales, I do see all the past DLCs going for like $5-6. So, you know,
helps.
I mean, okay. So one more question, then we're Destiny done because I hate Destiny. Screw that game. But
being the Destiny horse,
is there a reason to buy the other expansions for like necessariness, or like is it necessary, or is it just for more content to play?
More content to play.
Okay, so it is.
For story.
Now, would it be weird if you're missing part of the story though? Like, is it like a choose your own adventure where it doesn't matter what order you do it, or is it like all of a sudden there's new characters that are introduced in one, and now you're playing at the end, you have no idea who these people are?
I mean, it's been the same characters throughout the whole series. I mean, Lightfall looks different, so I can't really say for that much. But I mean, it's been the same characters throughout the whole franchise.
Kyle, I will tell you this. I will play
What?
Destiny before next week. How about that?
Wow.
Wow, that's a
I'll
big
try
commitment.
it.
Kevin's gonna
Good
drop
point.
$500.
And then and then if I don't like it, you're not gonna hear the end of it. So this is gonna be what's
Somebody set
fair.
up a GoFundMe
Like,
for
he
him
paid
to
it.
keep that promise.
That's fine. I'll still write articles about it. So
Is it fully cross play with everything yet, or is that still
yeah,
okay?
Yeah, it is.
Because I'll
So,
probably play on
if you-
Xbox too.
yeah. So if you're on Xbox, you can fire team up with me, and if someone's on PlayStation, if someone's on Stadia, oh wait,
We don't say that here.
Whoops.
Shh, quiet.
oops.
Too soon.
Is it too soon?
Yeah, it just ended. Let's not bring that back up.
Too soon.
But yeah, so it is crossplay.
Okay.
But I will say, if you're a PvP guy, like if you want to get all fucking sweaty in
No, I'm
PvP,
not a PvP guy. I can't do
I'm gonna
that.
say you don't have to pay for all that stuff. Go ahead, have fun. Leave me alone in my PvE world.
Yeah,
of
I
shooting
would rather.
monsters.
I mean, PvP's fun. I'm just not good at it. So I don't know. All right, Destiny done and over. Kyle, I'm cutting you off because you're just going to encourage
Okay.
me to complain more, and no one wants to hear that.
I'm
Let's
done. Bye.
let's move on to Jeff right next to you. Jeff, what have you been doing? And introduce yourself a little bit since you weren't here last week to hear all everyone's favorite games and a bunch of other nonsense.
Do I not get the interview questions?
No, because if everyone told me it was not fun, so I won't put them through that misery again.
No, I've
enjoyed
been gaming
Right?
since.
Oh, we enjoyed it. It was
the,
everybody listening.
I've been gaming since I started on the Genesis. I was always a Sega boy.
You
So I
look
had
like a Sega
Genesis,
guy.
And I had like a Nomad, which was like that portable one, kind of big. It was like the Steam Deck before the Steam Deck.
All I'm hearing is Jeff's
anyway,
parents didn't love him.
they loved me a lot. They got me a Nomad.
It's like the
That-
boringest thing. You don't want that. I hated that. My friends had that. Was it? Wait, did it? Maybe I'm not
No
thinking the
wonder
same
everyone
thing.
hated the interview format. Kevin just poo-pooed over everyone.
Wait, hang on. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. I think I know it. Is this? It ran on battery, didn't it? Like a big chunky,
You
like.
could plug it in. You got a big chunk for a AC
Okay.
adapter. Anyway,
I
so
did play that.
I played the Genesis a lot. Got a Dreamcast. Never really had a Nintendo system or PlayStation until I got the PS2. Never had a PS3. Got a PS4 pretty late. Nowadays, I got a PS5 and a PC pretty much. PC covers a lot of the Xbox stuff, which is great. Which thank you or Microsoft for that. Appreciate that. But this week, I'm always I feel like everyone on the show has some like thing that they're dedicated to. My thing is Hearthstone, so I always play Hearthstone like sprinkled into my days in the mornings with food or like at nighttime while I watch a show or something. So I'm always playing Hearthstone throughout the week. They just had they introduced the Lich King not too long ago as a new class, Death Knight. So that's pretty cool. But mainly my two main games I've been playing that aren't Hearthstone have been
Destiny.
Horizon
Oh.
Forbidden West. Yeah, not Destiny. I've been playing
Listen.
Horizon Forbidden
Surprise.
West quite a lot, and I got on Switch Chained Echoes, which everyone was talking about. So I've been playing that quite a bit, and yeah, Forbidden West is, if you haven't played Zero Dawn, go play that first because you'll be lost. But
I just played that and I just installed Forbidden West. I haven't started it yet, but I can't wait to get into it.
it's great. I mean, it's a lot more of the same, but just done better. So if you're ready
good.
for that, go for it. But
What have they improved upon, like added to? Like, I'm sure they've got a lot of this original stuff. Like, what is new compared to the last game?
there's like a lot more different monster types, which I thought was cool. They've really kind of like detailed the monsters out more. Like the attention to detail in the whole game. I'm playing on PS5, the only system it's
Same.
out on, but it's like the world is just beautiful. It's the graphics are crazy. The one thing I really noticed is kind of a weird thing, but like a lot of times in video games, like you'll just have two people standing there and they're kind of just talking. You'll get some facial expression, but they seem to have added like body language into the conversations, and it really kind of helps bring the world to life. So
Cool.
I think they've done a lot better job of that. And the story is it's very well done, just picking up where the other one left off and like building on it. So
The story for me on the first one was a little.
all over the place, kind of.
It wasn't really all over the place. It was just kind of like political and boring. Like, I mean, it was enough to keep me in it and pay attention to what was going on, but after a while it was like it just kind of felt repetitive with what kept happening.
I agree.
Yeah, I really
Yeah.
wanted a lot more.
I mean, this one I think kind of builds on it more, talking it's less about like what happened and more like what they're going to do, which I like. So you're not always going back and digging up the past cuz you kind of
That was
already
like the
know those things
whole
now.
first
It was
game.
the whole thing of the first game, yeah. Well, there's still some of it, but it's not like the main focus. So,
More about
yeah,
the here and now and what's going to happen type of thing.
yeah, it's super well. I think, I know Kevin, you said you wanted to play it too. I know you
Mhm.
have it, but it's a super well polished, just great game all around. Like I always enjoy my time spent in it. It kind of gives you that world to just escape to because it's so well
Might make a
done.
point
So
of picking that up this week.
yeah, I got it I think for like $30 on Black Friday or something. So
We should try
I
to
got it for
all
Christmas.
we should all try to play it one week and do like a roundtable about it and talk about it because that'd be interesting to
Yeah,
kind of
that'd
see
be
everyone's
cool.
opinions.
it's
Are
like
you
so big.
are you on
I put
PS4 or PS5 with it?
PS5.
Okay. Yeah, I want to
Yeah.
talk to someone who played the PS4 version because I want to see like how that compares to the previous and see if it's like that much different than the previous PS4 one. And then I'm curious to see how the PS5 really differs between the PS4 and PS5 version. Because it's kind of
Yeah.
amazing this game runs on PS4 still. And that console's from 2013. Like that's ancient in like
Forbidden
technology.
West came out for PS4?
No, the I'm sorry. PS4 came out in
Yeah.
2013.
Forbidden West is on PS4, yeah.
Oh yeah.
What? I thought that was PS5 exclusive.
No, I think it originally was, and I think they kind of said, "Oh, well, we're gonna make it on PS4 and PS5."
Oh, good
'Cause I,
lord.
I bought the PS4 disc, which came with the free upgrade for PS5, and
Same,
it was cheaper than PS5.
right? Because the PS5 was $10 more.
Loophole.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, loophole. They
Nice.
closed that one though. They can't do that in the newer games. But
Oh.
yeah, but yeah, because it
yeah,
came out at a time between the systems. It was a little.
I've already got like 30 hours in, and I feel like
Wow.
I'm still barely scratching it.
That's kind of how it was with the
Like,
first one. There's a
yeah.
grind to it. A lot of grind.
You get one of those tall necks, and then like the whole map just has like a ton of question marks and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh boy, here goes another 15
So
hours.
much to explore.
Oh my gosh.
But it's time well spent. Like you enjoy your time in there. I'm not,
Absolutely.
grinding out question marks that I don't want to do. So, and they've added like I think before you only had like the hunting grounds, and now there's like this arena, and there's these like races you can do on the mounts,
Ooh.
and there's like they added these ruins that you have to explore, but usually it's like you have to figure out, how do I get to this place? You have to like
Mhm.
it's kind of like a puzzle almost to get like this special like item you grab. So like I like doing the ruins and figuring those out. So they've added some more like flavor into the world, I think.
Cool,
And
cool.
yeah, just take everything from the first game and then just beef it up.
Good to hear.
So yeah, that one's been, that's been my main game. And then when I'm, laying in bed or just laying around on the couch or whatever, I'll be playing Chained Echoes, which it's been it's a different RPG. I know a lot of people. It's an indie. I think it was kickstarted, if I remember correct. But you don't grow levels. You just get like you can advance your skills with skill points you get from defeating enemies. So I don't feel like there's as much of like, hey, let me just go grind out some levels to beat this boss. It's more like you have to kind of plan out what you're going to do because it's not as easy to just grind past things. So I've been enjoying it so far. It was a little tough to get into for me just with that different feel because I kind of came in expecting, a classical RPG turn-based game where you kind of just run through it and mash attack all the time. But you kind of have to focus a little bit in the battles or else you can quickly get overrun. But it's been pretty fun. It was like $25 on Switch, so it's not too expensive either.
Kind of
Yeah, it's
looks
not
like
too
it has
bad.
an old school Final Fantasy vibe to it.
Yeah, kind of that pixel style a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The game's pretty.
got some cool
All the
artwork.
videos and everything I've seen definitely make it look like
It looks great.
it's like a big art project, but also a game. It's nice. I don't know. Has
Yeah.
anyone else heard of that game? Because that was a big game. I know that a lot of
I'm just now hearing about it, but I'm looking it
yeah,
up right
a lot
now.
of people towards just some info on it. I think it was made by I want to say one guy or very few people, and it was like a big project he spent years and years and years on, and it came out in what December, Jeff? Is it December of
I
last
think
year,
so,
November?
yeah.
And
December.
a couple people put it as their game of the year or in their top 5 list because it came out right before the end of 2022, and
Wow.
everyone was like, "This game has changed me. people kept saying it was better than Chrono Trigger, and
Wow.
I know people say that's like the greatest JRPG of all time, and people are saying it's better than that. It was kind of crazy, but yeah, it sounds
Wow.
like not for you, Jeff. Though it sounds like it's not the best game ever.
I
but-
mean, it's not like a bad game, but I don't know if I'd go like best game, life changing experience or anything like that. Just
Jeff's
been
like,
kinda
I'm getting
something
my
to pass the time
tattoo on my
more.
shoulder soon for it. So
Yeah, change echo artwork on my calf or something.
all right. Anything else you play this past week?
No, I'm kind of still just holding out till Octopath 2 comes out. That's my next big one. So
That'll be
just kind of
good.
stay with these two and get till the end of February.
Cool. All right, we'll jump over to you, Gabe. What have you got going up there?
So I actually got a little nostalgic this week. I think a couple weeks ago, you guys made me hip to emulatorgames.online.
Yeah.
And I got on there and realized that they had an entire section for Game Boy Advance games. So I was like, I think I was maybe like 12 years old when I had my Game Boy Advance. I'm like, I'm just going to jump on here, type in some old games that I used to play, and sure enough, they came up. So I played a little bit of the Game Boy Advance version of Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time, which
wow.
was one of my favorites when that first came out. We're
Really? That's gotta be
talking
a...
a very long time ago. I think it's
Wow.
when it was first released on the GameCube. It came out for the Game Boy as well. And then Dinotopia, the Sandstone Pirates, which was one that I put a lot of hours into, but mind you, I was young at the time. And then earlier this week, I continued in BioShock on PS5,
Nice.
and I actually learned something weird, I guess, about it, and because I'm like right in it right now. One of my kids was watching the TV show Big City Greens. Are you guys familiar with it? It's on Disney Plus.
No, I have no
No.
idea what that is.
For whatever reason, I have to look it up and see if there's a correlation between the two. There was a BioShock reference in this
What?
TV show. It's a children's TV show, and for some weird reason, this BioShock reference came up. And when I first saw it, I'm like, did I catch that right? And I looked it up, and there were so many people that said stuff about it being in there. And let's see, what's the episode? If anybody wants to look it up on their own, the name of the episode is called Wild Side.
Hmm.
Cricket starts worshiping the moon. A man in a suit says, "This boy has the right idea. No gods or kings, only moon." And in the BioShock game, Andrew Ryan stated, "No gods or kings, only men."
Wow.
I was like, where did this even come from? Whose idea was
Wow.
What are the
this?
odds you see that episode at the time you're playing it too?
At the exact same time? And
Like,
I
that's
haven't
such a
played
coincidence.
BioShock 1 in maybe a decade.
Yeah.
Isn't
It's
BioShock
absolutely
based off
insane.
like Iron Rand's books and stuff like that?
I'm not sure.
I don't even know what that
I think
is.
so.
Yeah,
Like
not
Atlas
familiar.
Shrugged.
I do miss playing
Who-
BioShock though. I wish they made
Whose
more
books
of
are they?
Iron Rand, AYNRAND, Atlas Shrugged.
Sounds like smart people literature. I don't know anything about that.
Are you playing the first one, Gabe? BioShock 1?
Yeah, the first one.
Okay.
Yeah, Jeff, you played through those pretty recently. It was like a couple years back, but
So I played Infinite to start, and
I remember that.
I loved Infinite. It's like probably one of my top games ever. I really, really enjoyed that one. And then I tried going back to BioShock 1, and I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't think it aged that well. Like the gunplay was really weak. Like it was kind of weird. Like you would shoot people and it didn't feel like you were shooting anything, and then they would kind of just die. And I was trying to play the because I think they have BioShock 1 original, and then on Steam there's like the remaster one.
Yep.
I was trying to play the remaster one, and then like my save got deleted after like 3 hours because I guess the remaster is like a glitchy mess. And everyone's like, "Oh, you gotta play the original one." So then I tried playing the original one, but at that point, like, I was so defeated from my save file being corrupted that I just kind of gave up. And then I never played 2 because everyone hates 2.
Two's not that
I
bad.
liked it.
It was still good. I don't think I liked it as much. It seemed like more of the same with a couple extra little features that I didn't care about. I think it was more about you were being a big daddy for part of it, And I think
Yeah.
that was like a big like gimmicky feature that it wasn't bad, but it didn't really add much. Like I was more concerned about getting different like plasmids or whatever they were called. Like to me, that was like I just wanted to get as much of
Yeah.
that. But
Favorite plasmid.
I liked the wind one. I always had fun with that.
I
Isn't
like
that
the
isn't-
insect swarm.
it was that game that had the wind, right? I'm trying to think of what it was.
The second one.
Yeah, okay, that's what I remember a lot.
Didn't Infinite have like there's one with like crows where you'd shoot them out of your arm or something? It was kind of like the
think
insect
so.
swarm.
I didn't get very far in that one. I started it.
Oh,
Never
you gotta
finished
go
it.
Well,
back
like,
to
screw one, go play
Yeah,
that.
Well,
Infinite
I'm starting
is
with one. I'm
so
gonna work my
good.
way up. I'm
Okay,
gonna
Good
hit
man,
it.
good man. I like that idea. I can do that. Yeah, I definitely think one it was like the beginning of one is very shocking as you enter through the submarine and go down there. The beginning was just so epic, but I do think 3 or Infinite was the better game. I just like the atmosphere of it too.
You gone back to one recently, Kevin?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, I wonder what you would think about it. I want to hear like you gave a Destiny guarantee. I want to hear a BioShock 1 guarantee.
Well, now I feel like I gotta go play Horizon, whatever Forbidden or whatever the new one's called, and
Well,
That's a
that game will
bit
take you like
less.
200 hours.
I
So
know.
That's a commitment.
I don't have
Yeah,
the time right now for
I'm just
that.
chipping away at that one.
Jeez, I've been telling everybody that I've been playing WordPress because I've been too busy writing articles and stuff, so I don't have time for
WordPress
time
on
for-
hard mode.
yeah in hard
Oh,
mode.
Wow, good for you.
Thanks. All right, Gabe. Any other games you want to talk about from this week?
That's it. That's all I've been on. Been doing a lot of work, so I haven't had a lot of time to game. But there was a little bit in there. A
All
little
right,
bit.
it's good you got some, man. All right, so I will round us out. I forgot that I have to go too, so I can't remember when I finished this game, but I finished Fire Emblem Three Houses. I don't know if I talked about that during the last show, but I finally put the little check mark on that game and said we're done. Tied it up with a bow, and already lent the game to one of my buddies that wanted to play it. So overall, I thought it was okay. I definitely played on casual mode and sped things up with a few auto battles to get things going, and I thought I would be ready to want to jump right into Fire Emblem Engage, but then I was like, nah, I kind of need a break from the turn-based stuff. So I was trying to think about what to play next, and I have Gamefly, and I always forget I have it, so games just show up at my house. And then I usually hold on to them for way too long and don't play them, and I'm paying for them even though I don't own them and wasting money trying to save money. But anyways, for this month, I got Dragon Quest Treasures. I think that's what it's called. Or Dragon Quest Treasure Hunt. Some treasures in it. And if you guys aren't too familiar, it's with the Dragon Quest series. It's like kind of like alongside Final Fantasy. There's always been Dragon Quest games. There's a ton of them. They're just more traditional JRPGs where they're all turn based, and some of them have class jobs and stuff like that in them. But I've always really liked like Dragon Quest 9 is a game I just have had so many fond memories of, and Dragon Quest 11 is the newest I think that's out.
Yeah, 11.
I really enjoyed that one, and this one, Dragon
one.
Quest Treasures, is like a side game off of 11. It takes the character Eric from 11, and it's a side story about him and his sister when they're younger. And in 11, I know they talk about like him and his sister had done adventures and stuff, and you get to finally dive into that. So this game plays like I thought it was gonna be a little bit more turn-based RPG, but it plays like an action party RPG. So a little bit more reminiscent of like the original Ni no Kuni, which I know I say that Jeff probably cries because he did not like that game.
Oh boy.
One of my favorite games in that ton of that play style. But the story is pretty horrible. It's really, really stupid, but the gameplay's been pretty fun. So I'm about maybe 3 hours into it, and I literally just got to the main title of the game, which feels kind of weird, but you basically pick up other monsters in the game and use them in your party, and they fight with you as you're fighting. So it's
Is that what makes it like Ni no Kuni, or is it?
I
Like the
did.
Same.
I think Ni no Kuni was fun because I thought the world in that was fun, but I did like collecting the monsters and using them to fight with you, which I know is a turnoff for some people, but it is what it is. Yeah, I got the chat. I see everyone talking about the smoke behind me. That is a humidifier. My house is not on fire. So we are all good. It is quite humid and great in my office here. So I've been playing most of that, and then the big game that I probably put the absolute most amount of hours in the past week is, it's kind of a shock to some people that know me because this is a game I've kind of crapped on a lot. Is
Destiny.
no, well, yeah, that was just today. No, I started back up with Zelda Breath of the Wild because I kept seeing stuff for Tears of the whatever coming out, and I was like, you know what? I feel like I need to finish the first one before I jump into the second because I know I'm gonna want to try it. And my biggest complaints playing Breath of the Wild the first time, about 5 years ago, and then every year or so I try to pick it up, is I couldn't stand the weapons breaking. And I would just lose my mind every time. It's like you find something, you hit two people, and then it gives you the warning, it's about to break, and you hit one more thing and it breaks. And I couldn't do it. It was making me so mad I would just stop playing every time. That was problem one. Problem two was I didn't like there's no like actual dungeons. I didn't like going to the big
Shrines.
creatures and stuff. No, the shrines were fine. They're just like mini things. It was like the big, I forget the beasts or whatever you have to go after.
Oh yeah.
So those are my big things. And third, this is a me issue, not an issue with the game, but I didn't really know what to do. I need a lot of direction. So a lot of times I'd play, I just wander around, which is part of the game, and that's what they want you to do. So the game's more fun and you can get your time out of it. But I just lose my patience because I don't feel like I'm getting anything accomplished. So again, that's a me problem. The first two are real issues. So long story short, to kind of sum it up, I found out I can increase my inventory size, which has helped a little bit with the weapon issue. So I started running around collecting all the seeds and trying to just expand the inventory, which has helped a bit. Still annoying when they break, but it has made it a little more enjoyable. And Jeff was gracious enough to help me with a online tracker to kind of keep track of the shrines and the seeds and everything. So that way I kind of have like something to follow and keep going for. So I feel like I'm accomplishing. Yeah, I need purpose. Otherwise, a game to me just feels like I'm wasting time. Again, me problem, but
A little less aimless wandering.
yeah, and I just like exploring and stuff is fun, but I feel like if I don't get something done while I'm playing, I feel like I wasted my free time. I don't know. I should be enjoying the art and everything.
Now
Makes sense.
Definitely like it better. Still hate the weapons breaking because I'll find something I like and then I never want to use it, and that makes me mad. But
I
it is.
feel like
It's
I
a good
played
game.
another game where the weapons broke and you had to constantly find a blacksmith to
Ugh,
get it fixed. Did Dark Souls do that?
I don't know.
can't
I didn't play
remember.
much Dark Souls. You just heard my
Well, there was
patience
another
in
game that
Zelda.
did that,
You
where
think Dark
your
Souls isn't
weapon
for me?
had hit points in it. Every time you used it, it went down. I don't remember. It was something.
I don't know.
I'll remember by next podcast.
Well, so I mean, am I crazy? Have you guys played Breath of the Wild? What do you guys think?
Yes.
I have not.
yeah.
And
It wasn't like an issue. I don't know. I didn't mind it. The weapons
That's what
breaking
I
wasn't a big
said.
deal for me.
I'm gonna say I
Exactly
love Breath
what I
of the
said.
Wild.
why do I feel like it was so not great?
Kevin,
I
once
like
you get
trying
your
out new
inventory up
weapons.
and you start doing more of the shrines, and all the enemies will drop a weapon, and you're gonna have like 5 of those. I don't know, the blue ones or whatever they're called. And then you're gonna be
blue
like,
ones?
oh, yeah, the enemies in the shrines have those weapons, the blue weapons.
Oh,
They're not like glass, but they're kind of fragile.
I have no idea what you're
but-
talking about. Blue weapons. In what shrines? Like
Yeah.
the little shrines or like the big
Yeah, the little
boss?
shrines.
Well, I've done tons of them. I don't got no blue weapons. Is it only
Uh,
certain ones that have it then?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's
so-
like combat dungeon or combat
the ones that have
Oh,
combat
okay,
puzzles, yeah.
okay. So I haven't
Machines.
come across that yet. I think I've done maybe like 22 of those, and then I've gotten like 25 seeds. So I'm kind of just walking around. That might be an overestimate because there's some areas I can't really get to yet because I'm burning up and shit. So got to take it one piece at a time.
Completely. The ancient weapons, I think they're called.
Okay.
Ancient short sword, a guardian sword. Yeah, the guardian weapons.
Yeah. Okay.
I
So
haven't
I
played
need
this
that.
game in like a while, so I'm kind of blanking. But yeah,
I
Once
definitely need
the
that.
enemies will start dropping those, and your inventory will start filling up with weapons. You won't even know what to do with them, and then you're gonna be like, "Why did I even care about this before?"
Maybe that's my problem.
I'm telling you.
All right,
you'll
I'll
get
give
to
you an
that
update in a
point.
couple weeks of this game. But all right, that was it for me. I know we kind of ran long with this segment because Destiny took over, but well, I have a feeling that'll happen from week to week. So I apologize to everybody. Yeah. All right, so let's jump into some news here. It wasn't like a crazy amount of news going on, but there were a few stories and a couple events that did happen. The first thing I want to talk about is something that someone within dotSlashGaming wrote an article about. So Tim over working with us at dotSlash did a little article about the Xbox and Bethesda like developer direct they called it. I don't know if any of you were able to tune in and kind of see what they had announced, but they kind of went through I'd say six, 7-ish games at Xbox and Bethesda, either together or separately, have been working on. They kind of, I'll just go through the list that he's got here. One of the ones they showed was Minecraft Legends, which was They had teased it last year, said it was coming at the beginning of this year, and it's like an RTS game, which they talk about a lot of PvP, base building, like defending and attacking, which I think the game sounds awesome. I'm not a huge Minecraft fan, but it looks cool. I don't know. Any interest in it from any of you?
Never played Minecraft.
Yeah.
I just toss it into the generic Minecraft bin and then I look the other way.
Okay.
Maybe that's a bad attitude to have, but
Maybe a little
I
bit.
don't know. I tried playing. What was
mean-
the other Minecraft one? The
Dungeons?
Diablo one. Dungeons. That was just so boring.
No, that
It-
okay.
wasn't
You
too
played it
bad.
at launch, Jeff. Like that, they've added so much to that game.
It's like it was so easy and like you would just mindlessly go through these dungeons and like I don't know.
I mean, what's the difference between that and
had a lot of
Hearthstone? You mindlessly play with cards every day that do nothing.
That's not even close, but okay.
All right.
How-
When he
what's-
started.
How do you just mindlessly play chess?
It's same thing. You close your eyes, just move pieces.
Yeah, it's just practically the same thing.
Child's
Um,
do it.
Whatever.
But yeah, I don't know. That one didn't really. I mean, I'm sure it's a fine game, but it just doesn't really interest me a whole lot.
All right, fair. I think it looks cool. I'm excited to try it. I can't remember if they gave a date for this one or not. Oh yeah, I lied. April 18th, right here. So this one is coming out pretty soon.
At least it's on Game Pass, so
Yeah, I mean, all of these
Try
are
it
on Game
out.
Pass. That's the best part about this. Is like even if you're slightly
Yeah.
interested, if you got Game Pass, you're just downloading it and playing it. This is probably my least interested one. Forza Motorsport 8. I mean,
yeah,
I
I
don't
haven't played a racing
know.
game in a long
Yeah.
time.
I like racing games, but I'm way more interested in the Forza Horizon series.
Yeah,
Like-
it's a really fun one.
Like those, yeah, I'm in it to have fun. This is like obviously a sim game, and this is like, you know, for the hardcore people. And they kept talking about the sound and the levels of paint detail and all, like, you know, this is the best of the best. And that's cool, but I don't know, not for me. Any
Trying
other?
with
I-
your steering wheel.
That would be fun, but
The
again,
music
I'm.
in Forza Horizon's like, so good too.
Oh, it is. It is really fun.
Yeah.
Anybody like the hardcore sim racer games?
Like I said, I haven't played a racing game since Need for Speed Underground.
Oh, that was
The
a good
first one.
game.
It's been a while.
Fair.
It was a really good game.
Then next we got Hi-Fi Rush, which was a game that came out of nowhere. We knew nothing about it. They showed us some gameplay footage. It's basically like a third person like action game where you're hitting stuff, but it's like rhythm based. I wanted to try to
Hack and
play it
slash.
before, yeah, hack and slash type. I wanted to play it before the podcast, but I didn't get a chance. Which is going to be the next part. Is they released the game the day of the little press conference thing they put out. So they kind of said, "Hey, and by the way, this will be able to be played tonight." So I was a little bit shocked by that for the little shadow release, but that was pretty cool. I don't think Microsoft has done that too often with most of their stuff and throwing stuff to Game Pass like that.
Game looks cool. I want to try it out, but could you
Damn.
imagine making a game for like I don't know however long, probably 3 years, 4 years, and you can't tell a soul about it?
Yeah, I know.
You're working on the Manhattan Project for God's sakes. I mean, these people are crazy.
Yeah, I know.
But
You go
that's
home.
really cool.
Your wife's like, "What are you working on?" He's, "I can't tell you." And she's like, "I don't know if I
Top
believe
secret.
you. Do you even work there? What's her name? Tell me." It's Hi-Fi Rush, honey. I promise.
Half the team got divorces just from
Yeah.
lying.
So
That game looks great though. I'm excited. I'm a kind of a fan of rhythm games, so I'm interested to try this one out.
okay. Well, let's try to make this a goal. Let's all try to play this before next week, at least for 5 minutes, because it is free if you have Game Pass. Well, who doesn't have Game Pass here? Maybe that's a question. Gabriel, Kyle. Wow, that's
dare
Share your
you.
password.
wow. How do you not have Game Pass? Aren't you an Xbox guy too?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
like-
I
so
am.
worth it.
It's so worth it.
I'm kind of picky with my games though, and
But-
usually once I get my good one,
Wait,
I
isn't
stay specific to that
BioShock on the
one.
Game Pass? Isn't on Game Pass? If that is, I'm gonna hit you
If you're
through the
playing, like,
internet.
anything on
I mean,
Game
I'm
Pass,
playing
it's
it on
worth
PS5 right now.
Okay,
and actually,
fine.
my sister's the one that has the game, and I game share with her through consoles.
Go get Game Pass. It's just there's so many good things. That game Jeff talked about, Chained Echoes, it's on Game Pass.
It is.
Okay.
So go find a coupon online. You can get Game Pass for like $1 for like a month. Like seriously, there are some really good
Yeah,
discounts
I
with
could do
that.
that. I
To
could
try
do
it out,
that.
and you can play Hi-Fi Rush and talk about it next week with us. See,
Let's
perfect
look at it.
timing.
Let's look at that right now.
There
Game
you
Pass
go.
coupon.
There you go.
I mean,
All
it's
right.
a bit cheaper than Destiny, so you got that. going for
Yeah,
you.
by $499.
Until you've been subscribed for 4 years, then.
Yeah, you just forget you're subscribing for it.
As long as the knife is
Hey,
slowly
join
going in
now
my
for
bag,
$1.
it's okay.
Anyways, up next they showed some stuff from ESO or Elder Scrolls Online. Yeah, it looked cool. It's more of that. If you like
I mean, do we have
ESO,
any ESO gamers here?
it's like the game that
I've
I-
tried it.
yeah, it's like it's
I tried it too for like a day.
I don't know anybody who's like hardcore into it though. Everyone's always like, it was fun. I played for a little bit, and that's it. Like, there's no like
Yeah.
Kyles of Destiny with ESO that I know personally. Like, no one plays it consistently. They always just like, well, I jumped in for a bit. I don't
Like
know.
say,
I like it.
I do have a friend that solely plays ESO.
Okay, well, we need to talk to that
Okay.
friend because I need some explanations. They introduced the new class that's going to be coming in called the Arcanist or Arcanist. It was a magic-based class, which looked pretty cool. Yeah, again, I don't play it very often, so it's not something I'm super interested in.
I'll tell you what, if 3 people hit me up and say we'll consistently play that game, I will jump back in.
See, I've been looking for that, Brandon, but I can't find anybody to play with. I can't find even one
Yes,
person.
We got 2. We got 2
I
so
could-
far.
I could probably do that, honestly.
You know what? Guess what? It's on Game Pass. So just gonna put that one out there for you, Gabe.
I went
Just
through
gonna
a
let you know.
phase.
It says I get it for a month
Probably-
for $1. I'll get it. All right.
Probably like 2016, I think, or something. I was playing it like pretty hardcore. I got level cap and everything, and I was like, this is great. They had because I think their currency is like silver or something. I can't remember the paid currency. And I bought like all this paid currency on discount. I think I must have spent like $75 to get this currency.
Still less than
Jeez.
Destiny.
And literally like the next exactly. The next week I stopped playing.
The
Like, I
next
never touched that
week.
currency. It's
So do you
sitting
still
in
have
my
currency
account.
there? Well, now
Still
you have an
sitting-
excuse to
That was
play.
games, Jeff.
I have like
Don't feel bad.
17
All right,
2,000 coins
tune
or
in this next
something.
upcoming week where dotSlashGaming plays ESO together because it sounds like with him in Game Pass, Brandon wants to play. I'm looking to play. Jeff's got money to spend in his account. This is the best reason for us to all join. Here's
Yeah,
my
there's a reason I
ESO.
haven't gone back in 7 years.
Here's my
Is
ESO
it
story.
crossplay enabled?
I think so. Someone look this up
Think it
while I'm
is.
making this statement. I want to go back and play because someone hacked into my account while I didn't play for a couple years, and I kept getting emails that it was changing my password and stuff. And I'm like, I got to go take care of this. Had to like cancel everything, start over. They asked for the serial code
Wow.
from when I started the game. Had to get all this, got my account back, and then I had a max level character on my account. So now I can play like more content because someone leveled up a character for me, and I got to keep everything they bought. So that was kind of fun.
Looks like it is cross-platform.
Cool.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna work on that. We're gonna play some ESO, and everything in ESO is going to be going free. That was something they announced for a short period of time. So I don't know when that period is. If somebody wants to look it up and see when it is, but that was one of the things they said that they're going to be making the game free. It might be for Game Pass subscribers or something. Have all the expansions just to get you going. So yeah, let's look into that. All right, let's
There's
just
something about ESO Plus membership.
yeah, that's like an extra thing you can get that you don't have to have.
That's where all the free stuff comes through. If you have ESO Plus membership.
Well, no, if you get ESO
then-
Plus, I think you automatically get everything. But they mentioned something. Jeff, you watched it with me, didn't you? Didn't they say there was something they were going to do to give away, like for a short period of time? Because Plus, Gabe, they usually give that away like for everybody. If you pay monthly, you get access to everything.
Oh, it's a pay monthly thing.
Yeah, so you don't have to do that. You can do it like the Destiny route, where you buy your expansion piece by piece. Or you could do the Plus thing and just get it all.
Hmm.
And there's probably like 3 people who played ESO listening. And they're like, Kevin, you're totally wrong. But I'm pretty sure that's how it is.
I literally have a copy of it sitting up on my shelf.
Yeah,
right
so
now.
do I. I have it too. I bought it physical. Anyways, we'll look into that. We'll have some more on that next week for sure, because now I'm a little bit intrigued. All right.
Same.
Next, actually, I think is last, is Redfall, which is from the I should be doing this. Someone else should be doing this.
English.
I can't talk. This is the same developer as Deathloop, I believe. And I cannot remember the name of it, so I keep stalling to try to think about it, but it'll come to me. What is it? Arcane Austin, right? Yeah, Arcane
Yeah,
Austin.
that sounds right.
I think that's right. And I see in his article. So unless Tim's wrong, then we'll blame him. This game was announced a while back. They showed off like some really cool videos, but it wasn't anything more than like, you know, like video gameplay. It's not like actual gameplay footage. So they finally had shown a lot of gameplay footage in this. It's like a PvE vampire hunter-y type thing is what I kind of got out of it. I don't know. Have any of you seen any of the gameplay or know anything about this game? Maybe I should start from the top. Has anyone ever heard of Redfall? Period.
The only
I
Redfall
first-
I'm familiar with was Elder Scrolls.
I first heard of it at the Xbox Direct, and I mean, it looks awesome.
Yeah, I think it looks awesome too. So I recommend fellow hosts and listeners go look up Redfall. I think this is going to be one of the better games that come out from Xbox recently, because there really hasn't been a lot in general. But this does look pretty dang good.
Ayo.
Ayo. They did give us a release date of May 2nd for this. I'm pretty pumped for it. Again, Game Pass. Gabe, please get it. And anybody can be able to play it for free if you're a subscriber.
Please no delay.
Kyle doesn't have Game Pass either. Just saying.
Well, Kyle's playing Destiny, and that's all he plays. So
That's just
he's-
true.
he's got
My
enough problems.
Xbox is my streaming box. I don't use my Xbox for anything else. So
Well, now it looks like you can use it
Yes.
for Game Pass.
Wait,
Cool.
can you get the Destiny DLC on Game Pass?
don't think
Uh,
so.
I don't think so.
Sorry, buddy.
It's fine. You know, you guys don't want to play a good game. I get it.
a
It's
good
fine.
game.
That's why I don't play Destiny.
Yeah.
not playing
Oh,
bad games.
perfect. So that was a wrap on the developer direct from everybody at Bethesda and Microsoft. Overall, I thought personally it was probably a 7 out of 10 with content and the length and what they showed. So I thought it was pretty good.
That was one of their better ones lately.
Yeah, that Microsoft has just
Shadow
been.
Drop.
Yeah, the Shadow Drop was cool. The stuff they showed was good. A lot of people were concerned they didn't show anything on Starfield, which is Bethesda's big game they're working on. You know, their next
Sure.
Fallout or Skyrim type game in space, which is fine. I think most people aren't expecting that till the second half of the year anyways, and this looks like it's stuff up until the basically summer. So I'm wondering if they're going to have another one of these for the second half of the year, and hopefully they'll show some of that. But there's definitely enough here, Microsoft, Bethesda-wise, to keep us busy, and with other companies releasing some content. So
You can always buy Skyrim again.
yeah, you can always play that again. That's always available. The other big piece of news I wanted to bring up before we close out the show was about the finally being released or release whatever. The GoldenEye is back. The original N64 rare GoldenEye game. It was announced a while ago that it was coming out. People lost their minds because this is a very interesting deal that had to be worked out between Microsoft, who now owns Rare, and Nintendo, who was the original owner of Rare on their system, and then MGM, who I believe is the owners of the James Bond license. So a lot of crazy stuff had to kind of come into play for this to actually be released anywhere. And it actually came out on the Nintendo Switch, on the Nintendo, let's say, expansion pass is what they call it, something like that. So if you pay for their service, which comes with a bunch of stuff and cloud saves and etc., and you have the extra version of it, you're able to play it on there with online multiplayer. And then on the Xbox, if you have, I think it's on, what is it called? The Rare Replay, I think is the game it is. If you own the Rare Replay like game, you gain access to it as a Rare Replay game in there, which I believe Rare Replay is on Game Pass. So essentially, it's a Game Pass game. The crazy thing about all this and stuff that people have been talking about online is the Xbox version does not have online multiplayer, which is kind of interesting, and the Nintendo Switch does with their peer-to-peer, terrible online service. Problem number 2, which really ties into it, which makes things bad, is the Xbox version has modern controls, so you can use the right thumbstick to move left or to look, and left thumbstick to move, like a traditional first-person shooter. But the Nintendo Switch version, from what I'm hearing, and I saw it from 2 different sources, so they could both be wrong, that you don't have that option. You have traditional type controls where you want to use one thumbstick, or they can it's like a weird control scheme they have that doesn't actually fit what modern games do. So yeah, it's a little weird. And I mean, I saw one YouTuber talked about it, and I saw on Reddit, so I don't know how legitimate those all are, but
Sounds like there's a learning curve to it.
yeah. So I guess we'll start from the top of it all. What do you guys think about the GoldenEye basically port / slight remake?
I'd be excited to see what multiplayer looks like because remember back in the day we had split screen and
Mhm.
now we don't have that limitation.
So yeah, no more screen cheating. You know,
Screen cheating.
Also, I'll be bad at the game now. Right? Forgot about that part.
Is this like a game that everyone wanted to actually go back and play, or is this a game it's nice that they ported it and made it available? Like what are the thoughts on that? Because to me, I'm like, this is really cool, but I don't think I'm actually going to play this. Like,
I'm not
So-
going to
It's
play it.
nostalgic.
yeah,
That's
like
what I
so
was thinking.
people who downloaded like the Mario 64 for the Switch. It's kind of like that whole scenario. You know, some people again, like me, I'm a story guy. I'm sure I could just watch the GoldenEye movie, but I could play James Bond in
yeah, but
GoldenEye.
James
which-
Bond looks like a giant rectangle with like a little bit of shape.
Listen, 20 years ago, that was the best graphics you could get.
But that's my
Did
point.
look
Like
good.
20 years ago it did, but today it looks like ass. Like, do
got-
people are
You
people
gotta
actually
respect the
going to?
classics?
It's one of those
You gotta
things
respect
like
'em.
it's like when you're looking at our website where we try to see views and stuff and clicks, like who's coming to the site and spending time there and who's just showing up for a second and leaving. Like, how many people download this game and actually play it, or how many people just download it, relive the music and go, this is what I used to do. All right, I'm gonna go play Destiny now. And they leave.
Yeah, I'm gonna go play Horizon now.
Like especially with this, and I'm looking up the control stuff while I was talking. Like, it looks like GameSpot has an article. GoldenEye 007 controls on Switch are wildly unintuitive. Like, there's a lot of people complaining about it. Like, looks like there's a couple options to fix it a little bit, but it's still, they still want you to. They're pushing the Nintendo 64 Classic controller for this game, which is why I think
Wow.
the controls are like that, and people are not very happy.
Wow.
So, and for those who don't know what that is, it's like a wireless N64 controller you can use with your Switch. That's constantly
yeah,
out
I've
of
seen that.
stock on Nintendo's site where you can buy it. So it's not even easy to get.
Figure.
So
Classic Nintendo.
I don't know. And then it just seems weird. Is this, I guess I kind of jumped into the fact that, who's actually going to play this? And then on top of it, the people that are going to play it, you better like controls from the early 90s or mid 90s because you're not getting anything newer. And then why would they only make that control scheme on the Xbox? And why is there no multiplayer on the Xbox where you'd want to play it with like a real like online server?
Right.
I don't know. A lot of questions here. Somebody else have anything to say? Because I've just blabbed and blabbed about GoldenEye.
It
And
just kind of seems like this was made by a hardcore nostalgic individual that just this was their game back in the day. This was just something that they played and they swear by it all the way up until now. And they're like, oh, we gotta remake this. But it was just like that one person that was all about this game. Because I mean, I played it back in the day and I was like, I mean, it's fun. I might try this just to kind of relive the nostalgia, just like you mentioned. But it's not gonna be something that I'm gonna be playing all the way up until the summertime.
you're not dropping the BioShock remaster to go play the campaign in GoldenEye?
Definitely not.
Okay, didn't
Definitely
think
not.
mean,
so.
I could just see people wanted to bring back childhood memories of ruining their friendships. So
Exactly.
You know,
So who here is going to play through the campaign and give a review on the website for us?
I mean, possibly.
Oh,
I mean, I could tell you the whole campaign right now without even playing it because it's gonna be the same one.
yeah,
from
but I
before,
want to
so
see what it's like 20 years later or whatever it is.
maybe
How about this? I'll play some Destiny if you go play some GoldenEye.
Yikes.
not a good trade. Not a good trade.
Not a good trade.
Ooh.
Yeah, I
Nope.
don't know. I'm conflicted about my own personal feelings about it. I think it would be fun to go play it on the Xbox, but I'd want to play online with a friend, and I can't do that. But
I'll play if it's on Game Pass.
yeah, it is, but you can't play. They don't have multiplayer online. It's only I think local co-op or local multiplayer
I'll do
on
the
Xbox.
campaign.
Oh,
The campaign's got to be so rough though, like that. Like
Oh,
Jeff, you thought the Infamous campaign was bad and outdated, and the BioShock one. Like, try to play this game.
yeah.
And I know you're a graphics snob, so I don't think this would
I-
float for
like,
you.
Look, am I mad that they made it? No. I do feel like we keep pumping this game out. Like, at what point does someone kind of take it and just bring it up to today's standards? Like, I think that would be an amazing game.
They
Like,
kind of
could
did
be
that on the
really fun.
Wii, and they had a lot of issues with that, and it was also pretty bad.
Needs a remake,
A little
not a
more effort in.
remaster.
Yeah, exactly. It needs a remake, not a remaster. So, like,
Yeah,
I
the
mean,
whole
it's fine
game.
that it's there, but I don't know.
Resources
It's
should have
not
went
for me.
elsewhere, is what I'm kind of hearing.
Yeah, yeah, it's not for me.
Yeah. All right. I think that's a wrap for today. Anybody else have any last thoughts or anything they want to throw out there? No.
Nope.
Yeah,
No.
news wasn't too wild this week. That the press conference, they or the direct or whatever they call it, was pretty much the biggest news I saw, and it's just like we're in the waiting period now, where I think February is going to take off with a lot of games coming out. So everybody definitely head over to dotSlashGaming.com to check out all the reviews for everything that's popping out on there. Opinion pieces, news. We got an article coming out just about every day on the site. We've been really trying to pump up just the content so that way there's new stuff coming out. If you're looking for something to read, YouTube channel, we have all of our podcasts go up there live Sunday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, like we just watched here, hopefully. You can also check out our previous episodes, which is one other than this one. And then definitely check us out on our social media. We got a TikTok page now, Twitter, and Facebook at dotSlashGaming. Finally, and this is for hosts and anybody, if you know any friends or yourself is interested in becoming a content creator, contact us at dotslashgaming.com on our website, because we're still looking. We're trying to get more and more people to build and get more and more content out to everybody else and show everybody why dotSlashGaming is the best news place in the world. That sounded real, right? We sound really like, yay. A cool place.
Yay.
It's a cool place to work, right? They all love working here. Tell me, guys, how great are we?
Absolutely.
There we go.
Yay.
We got
Says the
one.
Destiny.
I literally want to just write an article. Like I'm taking notes down of here. I'm thinking like, first time playing Destiny. I'm like, how can I crap on this game to make Kyle feel bad? Like, just kidding.
Feel bad.
I'm just
Not gonna
kidding.
make me.
We'll do an article on Destiny where every one of us just writes a paragraph on it.
Yeah, and you'll know which one Kyle did because there's just like a heart border around the whole thing. I'm in love with it. All right, guys. Well, thanks for hanging out with me tonight, and we will see you all next week, same time, same place. Take it easy. Goodbye.